Alright, hello everyone, it's Happy, and today we're going to be talking about the E5. This is of course the tier 10 American heavy tank. Now, this tank was talked about a lot, and I feel like this tank can be easily compared to the FV215B, the tier 10 British heavy tank. Now, why, you may ask? That's because the weapon handling is absolutely identical to each other. The aim time and dispersion is literally the same, and of course the shell velocity is also the same. Now, the only difference between these two tanks is the DPM, and the FV215B has over 3,200, while the E5 only has 2,600. So that's an almost 700 difference in DPM. That's the biggest and most important difference between these two tanks. Well, you also have other factors which we're going to get to in a second, but the FV215B literally has an insane gun, and the E5 has the same weapon handling. However, it really doesn't feel the same because the DPM there is not, it's obviously not the same. So you have a tank which is the E5, which has been nerfed over and over again. However, it's been given superior weapon handling to a lot of other heavy tanks. Is this important? Yes. But does this make the E5 a good tank? No, not at all. I feel like this tank is way below average, probably one of the worst of tier 10 heavy tanks. And it all comes down to the DPM. Everything else about the tank is still very, very good. The gun depression is 8 degrees. The mobility is 42 kilometers forward with a good power to weight ratio. And of course, some decent armor frontally. The turret is pretty good, and the upper part of the hull is pretty good. And after the new HT models, the sides don't get penned as easily as they used to before. Of course, you can still easily pen the E5 side, but just comparing it to the previous E5, the sides have become a little bit better. So what do we want from Wargaming? Just a little bit better DPM. Just change the DPM to 8 and 8.7 seconds, and this will make the biggest change for this tank, and it's going to make this tank playable once again. It does not hurt Wargaming or hurt any other tank to give this tank a little bit of DPM and make it the jack of all trades it used to be, because nowadays it's the jack of nothing. Basically has barely anything to it. The weapon handling is superior to a lot of heavy tanks, but without that DPM, like on the FV215B, that weapon handling is pretty much useless. It dies to a lot of mediums in a one-to-one fight, and it's just not that great of a tank unless you give it some decent DPM. Then it will have the jack of all trades it used to have, and it'll become a playable tank once more. So tell me what you guys think about this tank in the comment section below. And with that, Happy is out, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.